Oh, Firekeeper, how you doing, man? Yo, Green, thanks for the resub for 8 months. Holy shit, dude. Thank you so much, man. Didn't know you've been here for that long. It's midnight, just chilling, recovering from the disappointment the other day. I mean, we all got rickrolled, dude. It's not just you. I think everyone was expecting something else. Today I want to try Storm Stomp on a bunch of good weapons that I never actually play with Storm Stomp. Like for instance, we used like like it's common to see Flame Strike on Shamshir, but you never see Storm Stomp on Shamshir. I wonder if it's actually good. Even like Wakazashi, I wonder if it's actually good to have Storm Stomp there. Or even like Sight. Oh, I already have one. And like everyone knows about like Claymore Storm Stomp, but wondering if there's other stuff that's actually good with it. I mean, Storm Stomp is like one of the very best Ash, so I mean, I don't think there's really anything bad per se with Storm Stomp. But I think the best way to leverage it is like, use it as a Flame Strike replacement for stuff that would need hyper armor, or that don't have hyper armor, I should say. But like, Storm Stomp on two-handed Lance doesn't really make a lot of sense because Lance already has like pretty powerful hyper armor. So like you just want a roll catch mix-up, so Flame Strike is better suited for that, especially since like the combo is slow. Ugh. Even Raptors. Thinking Raptors could be interesting with Storm Stomp. I don't think we're gonna try all of these today, but at least give us like choice, Yo, what's up, Van? What's up, Way7? How you guys doing? Okay, so... Twinblade, I don't actually play with Twinblade Stormstone. We could put one as well. I don't really play Twinblade Flamestrike either, though, to be fair. I always use, like, Spin Slash on Twinblade. Yeah, I think that should be good for now. Let's try Great Cat first. Okay, let's try this out. Let's see if that probably does not combo, but we can try. Great Cat Storm Stomp is too slow for you? I mean, we're gonna try it out. That's, you know, that's the thing, right? Like, you try stuff, you see how good or how bad it is. Stomp and Warp Tax, that we've already played with. Like in my mind, I already know that for Warp Tax, the two best ashes are Sword Dance and Storm Stomp. That, we already knew that. Although now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever tried Bloodhound Step game. Oh my god. That's fucked up. Of all the ways I could have died, getting cock-blocked by both of them. Well, that's the first invasion curse, I guess. I don't think I drank my physic either. That's what happens when you don't play for a week. Yo, what's up, Ungun? How you doing? Oh, you're right. Yo. Interestingly enough, I think that after landing that, after the Storm Stomp, I think if they panic roll, it's like timed properly for the follow-up. Chama or no chama? Chama. Oh, man. This guy. Okay, he can escape with BHS. But it's not fast enough to have anything reliable. That's what it means. Well, we tried. Why don't you want to try Neo? I don't. I'm not a weeb. I don't care about katana stuff. I'd say that while I'm playing with Great Cat. But I don't care about these Japanese team game. Interesting last hit. Yeah, it was great katana right there. I have a feeling it might be better to respawn here. Yeah, there you go. It's more like a normal one that's closer to them, I think. There he is. In all his glory, has a friend though. Some latency. Okay, shit net. Yeah. Lat. Neo is great, but it's different. Honestly, like I have so little care for that franchise that I did not even look up like anything. Yo, what's up, Soda? How you doing, bro? I didn't look up like any gameplay, any trailer. Like, I just know I don't care about it. Like, it could be good or bad. I'd have no idea. Did you hear Gig die? Giggity? Really? No, I didn't hear about it. What happened to him? Hold on that. Oh. Yeah, the roll catches like timed. Like after you land Storm Stomp that and they panic roll, the follow-up catches them. He passed away the other day, not sure yet. Okuda was trying to get some information about it from the family, but nothing was posted yet. That's crazy, dude. It's like that's so sad, honestly. You don't know how he died, Soda? You don't know, like, what happened to him? Like, if it was, like, a car accident or something, you know, something else? Not yet? Okay. God, the latency. Not just latency at that point, though. Yo, what's up, Mozzarella? How you doing, man? Yo, for all the cows, thanks for the 2 years, dude, of Twitch Prime resub. Really appreciate that. Oh, that was weird. rune level do you recommend to get into PvP? I'd say probably around like rune level 90, you know, either fully upgraded weapon or plus 24 weapon. If you're starting out, I'd say that. Ooh, the both this lagging his life away. Oh my god. Plus 17, plus 7 has always been the sweet spot for you for rune level 90. Well, I mean, maybe you guys can try that. To be fair, I'm not really in the loop for like specific level brackets to play at to find activity and such. The level has been dead for ages. Yeah, see, like, I have no idea. So no fully upgraded weapons? You can have your weapon fully upgraded if you want. Whenever I did level 90 fully upgraded, I found activity, but, you know, maybe chat has better recommendation. Like, I'm not the best point of reference for level 90 because I don't really play at that level. Is meta still 125? To be honest, I don't really know. Like, I see more and more players playing at 150. I think ultimately what happened is because the game is not competitive, there was never enough players that sustained the 125 meta. And so the casual 150 took over. And even the good players are playing 150 now. Level 30 is so much more active, and you can get you have a lot of room for error. You level up vigor. You're probably right. It's just that from what I remember playing at low level, what's unfortunate about low level is the mats discrepancy is too huge. Like, for instance, if you're fighting an over leveled at low level, like, you really fucking feel it, and it becomes like a very uphill battle that it's not even about skills. Like, the skills becomes irrelevant. And it's the same way for host. Like, if you have a spec'd up character at low level, like, the difference in stats with the amount of damage the host does to you and you do to them, it's like you can kill them in 3 hits and they need like 30 hits to kill you. It's like there's not rewarding, and there's like, you know, you're completely unkillable basically. Like, that's the problem with low-level invasions. Is the mat doesn't add up like one way or the other. It just swings very wildly, and depending on setups, like, sometimes it doesn't even matter how good you are. The mats is so It's so backwards that there's no way to overcome that. We have a friend. Nope, we got an overleveled red summon. He seems to have a lot of lat. Yeah, he does. Over leveled with E-Lings. Player goes down. Kill the host. For the Phantom. Sure, just kill the host. Did he DC? These people are insane, dude. Dude, the guy DC'd. That's crazy. These people are mental, what the fuck? Average Elden Ring Fight Club? For real though, right? It's like these people pretend like they're fucking having fair fights. And then, you know, you fight like an over-leveled fucking red. And then, you know, he loses, so he just heals. Mournful departure, immediately summoning me some morons. It's actually so accurate. Problem for this game is that they have enhanced magic spam, ignoring the physical play. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, the amount of range spam that's in this game is definitely second to none for like all the Souls games that we've had so far, for sure. Like when someone is spamming at you, even in 1v1, like if the terrain is like large enough, you can't actually attack back. Like, you have to wait for the volley of projectiles to, like, to cease, or, you know, you have to wait for them to be, like, either out of stam or out of blue. And then you can go in between the volleys. But when you're fighting multiple people, it gets even worse because, you know, yeah, while you have like one guy spamming projectiles, one other guy is either protecting them from you closing the gap, so you can't really ever close the gap. And that gives them a buffer, like spam spell, then their teammates protects them, and they spam spell again, and then it's just like a complete stall until until the battle of attrition, like, goes to a point where they're out of blue. It's usually how it goes. Definitely not the most compelling gameplay, I can tell you that much. But the fact also that you're always alone fighting that sort of stuff definitely doesn't help. Like, if you had a teammate, like, they wouldn't be able to spam projectile from range like that against both of you at the same time. No, not that. This. Okay, we are somewhere I'm not that familiar with. You know what? I don't think I can go down here. Like, I would need to go like all the way to the side, but without the map, I can't actually move too much. Okay, there you go. Much better. We were actually super far. Like, they spawned us the first time, like, super far from here. No hit on the rock. Got some Nightreign players, though. Oh, good R2. I thought he would do an R1. Behind me. That's basically free. Yo, Kronos, thanks for the raid. Really appreciate that. Spell design would not necessarily be as much of an issue if people weren't able to beat the game by just staying at a distance and spamming. To be honest, I always thought that was strange, the way they implemented, like, magic in this. Like, as you know, I think it should be taken for granted that From Software designs pretty much their game, their weapons, their spells, everything around PvE. Yet, the way spells are designed PvE-wise, it's very low commitment. Like, it's basically easy mode. Maybe that's why they designed it this way. They wanted to provide like an easy mode within the game, because I think they've talked about that in interviews, not about spells specifically, but by giving like ways to make the game easier. Like, that's why the mimic summons are a thing. It's to basically like provide a way for people that are not as good at the game to succeed in killing bosses. So maybe spells are like another way to sort of do the same thing. Same thing with Ashes to some extent. I think with Ashes they wanted to give players like more variety and freedom for attacks. But, you know, like, I'm just speculating. I don't actually know, like, what they were thinking, obviously. They're probably above here. Just go up. Ranked is also pretty easy. Well, not really, no. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, the idea is that the game is designed around game is designed around melee combat. So it doesn't actually matter if you're using strength or dex. You say strength is pretty easy, but objectively though, status is much better than raw damage in this game. So an arcane build would actually be better, or a dex build with like bleed infusions, something like that. Okay, let's try hitting them from here. There's always this misconception that strength builds are overpowered. Like, the only truth that there is to that is the fact that clean rot is the best weapon. But if clean rot is not the best PvE weapon. So if you're talking like strictly about PvE, maybe you could say fingerprint. Fingerprint is definitely broken in PvE, so you'd be right if you're thinking fingerprint. Didn't think you'd hit me. Casual propaganda, yeah. Because, you know, it always depends on, like, what you mean by which one is the best build. Like, if you're thinking the best build is the build that has the best setup. On PvP, like, Clean Rot is the best setup at meta, but, you know, if you go higher level, where, you know, builds don't really exist and you have stats everywhere, like, you know, the best thing is not, like, heavy infused clean rot, it becomes like bleed infused clean rot, right? You're thinking stagger half, the boss is stagger. Like, see, there's different ways to think about it, right? Like, there's the speedrunner way where, you know, like, you already know everything the boss is going to be doing, right? Like, I'm gonna give you the best self-stroking example that I can give you. Like, tell you how much better I am than all these speedrunners at PvE. Because from all the recorded stuff that we have, when the DLC came out, all these speedrunners, like, took more tries to beat every single boss than I did. And, you know, I'm not, like, inventing that. Like, that actually happened. Like, for all the recorded bosses, you can look at, like, someone made a vid. He, like, ranked all the fucking, all the streamers, basically. All the popular ones, at least. And Distortion was the one that did the best, but he had, like, a level 200 plus build, you know. And, you know, he killed the boss pretty quickly, you know, good PvE run on his first go at the DLC. But he had a level 200 character with, you know, access to a lot of stuff. You know, I outdid all these people. Why is that? I'm not as good at them at speedrunning, but at the end of the day, like, the fundamental skill, I have way more, like, fundamental skill. I have better timing and spacing than these people because of the PvP. And so when they're faced against something new that they don't know by heart, like what they usually have to face in their speedrun, I do better than them because PvP players are better and faster at adapting. And so if you're talking about what is the best build to face PvE in an unforeseen situation like when the DLC came out, you're not going to want to have a low recovery weapon. Oop, my screen went black. You're not going to want to have low recovery, like, heavy weapons, because you're going to want to hit and move out afterward. One sec, let me unplug and replug my cables. Okay, there you go. And so, like, if you're thinking you're thinking like PvE stuff, and you're not thinking Nightreign, because Nightreign is not Elden Ring. They're different games. Yes, it's true that like a giant crusher crouch attack is really good for a lot of bosses. But, you know, like for me, what I beat the DLC with for the most part was, I don't know if I have them with me, but what I beat the DLC for the most part is I was on the Dex build. And I used Bleed-Infused Venomous Fangs. That's what I did. Bleed-Infused Venomous Fangs, and, you know, it's just quick hits and then get out, stack status against all these bosses. That's, you know, that's how I was more successful than all your favorite speedrunners, right? And so, the way I see it is the best way to beat PvE is with low commitment stuff that does like high status and high status stacking. With that being said, though, you can definitely cheese a lot of the PvE with Endure and shield poking. There's no doubt about that, for sure. So if you're saying like, you know, I think strength build is the best build for PvE because fingerprint is a thing and you can cheese bosses with fingerprint, you'd have a point. Or if you say like, I believe that strength build is the best build for PvE because you can endure Starfist Charge R2 every boss without having to learn anything, then you'd be right. Clean Run is busted in PvE as well. Saw Gino request run with it. I killed Moog before transition. He's Gino, but still, well, to be fair, like Gino is gonna, like you said, like Gino is gonna, like all these really good speedrunners, like they're gonna, once they know the game, like they're just gonna learn like all the strat by heart and they'll know like all the patterns by heart, so it almost will be irrelevant what they use, like to a certain extent. Some stuff will be better than others, but it's gonna come down to DPS for them at the end of the day. Like that's ultimately what's gonna decide like whether something is good or not. And, you know, to a certain extent, like you said earlier, the stagger will definitely matter for them because they might develop a strat to beat a boss quickly around stagger, but that's an unrealistic situation to judge the game on because that's only a thing once you know everything about all the, you know, enemies. When you're playing the game for the first time, that's not the case. So it's like saying to these PvEers that, you know, play the game for the first time, don't level up Vigor, because the best way to beat the game is to have no health, put all your stats into offense, and just no-hit all bosses. Look at what the best players are doing. This is how they beat bosses. They don't take a single hit, and they kill everything so quickly because they stack everything in damage. When you're playing the game for years, yes, that becomes, like, sort of the most optimal way to go about it, but only when you know everything about the bosses. When you don't know everything about the bosses, you're way better off with a much more balanced build that favors survivability over offense. And I say that, I have the receipts to back it up, because like I said, you can think of any of these speedrunners that seem to be the best players at PvE, yet for whatever reason, when the DLC came out, I did better than all of them. And again, you know, I can repeat it as many times as I want, but it's true. And why is that? Well, when you don't know the pattern for the bosses, you know, you want to favor survivability, you want to favor low recovery, low commitment, you know, status stacking, you name it. This is how it works. But of course, once you know everything about the bosses, there's another one. Man, the frames are nasty here. Oh, we could have BS'd that. Those speedrunners, guys, are not in a rush, like, to take time on bosses to learn them. Don't think they knew you were racing them. I was not racing them either. Like, I was literally just... Dude, I played the whole DLC with, like, my legit character. I was literally 100 levels less than them. And I just took, like... I mean, I took half as much tries. Like, most of the bosses I basically beat first try or second try. Like, no joke. And it's not because I was racing anyone. Like, people can be in denial and not like me and like them as much as they want. The reality is, the hard reality is, the PvPers are better at the game than the PvEers. It's just how it is. Now, I don't take the time to learn all this PvE by heart. I just play the game once and then, you know, I move on after that. But when we're both faced with new enemies for the first time, I perform better than them. Steel performs better than them. Luber performs better than them. The top PvPers are going to perform better than the top PvEers because we just have simply better fundamentals. It's how it works. It's just how it is. Now, they might be upset by that, but it's the truth. And what's crazy is the way I fought, like, most of the DLC, like, I was not even going for cheeses. Like, I know some people, I know some people that basically did the whole DLC with Ender Starfist or, like, Fingerprint Shield Poke. You know, like, that's a lot easier. If you're using that for, like, for fighting bosses for the first time, like, it's a lot easier than if you were using, you know, a melee weapon with commitment. Oh my god, this guy's net's ass. What the fuck? Okay, this guy's net is fucking terrible. And he's light rolling as well. Yeah, I mean... This is kind of fluky. This guy is legitimately terrible, but this strategy that he's doing is pretty flawless. You know, it's just, you know, it's just guaranteed damage coupled with light roll and latency. It's the fucking classic. There's no window to punish him because his net's too shit and he's light rolling. People who don't like me will say this guy, you know, like he played well, or you know, like he's good, but you know, people who understand the game will know that it's very easy to fluke anyone with you know, like high light roll and guaranteed damage. Like it really, like if you want a bulletproof like skillless strat, what he did is basically that. It's not the only dummy proof strat, but it's definitely one of them. You found a new meta? No. This thing has been known for a while. Like, if anything, he didn't use fucking gravitational missile enough and star shower enough. All he has to do, really, if he was to play this properly with his latency and his light roll, all he has to do is put gravitational missile between me and him and star shower. Just repeat. Why don't you pull out Pada and light roll yourself? Well, Pada, I can definitely do that. Like, next time we see him, we're just gonna Pada him, indeed. But, like, you have to understand that light roll favors the lowest common denominator, not the highest. So, aka, like, light roll favors people who don't time their rolls. Because good players will always time their rolls. So, light roll is not gonna give them as much of a positive effect. It really favors people who panic roll, because you can panic roll and get away with it. But if you're a good player, like, it doesn't really make sense to go for panic rolls. But when I play Two-Handed Lance is my favorite. It doesn't have, like, the best matchups against everything. Like, it really struggles against shields, you know, like, it gets shitted on by Clean Rot. Has a hard time versus, like, other fast weapons with low recovery. But it has a lot of good matchups as well. I like playing with it. It has a quasi neutral. Yeah, it has a, you know, a low effort neutral. Because it travels such a large distance. Although today I wanted to focus on, like, trying Storm Stomp for various weapons that I don't normally use Storm Stomp on. Yo, Flower, thanks for the Prime resub, man. Really appreciate that. Also, like, I just want to come back to that for a second, because, you know, like, I was focusing on the invasions and everything, but going back to the whole, like, speedrunners versus PvPers type deal, like, the elephant in the room that no one is acknowledging is the fucking level difference. Like, if you give me a level 200 character, do you realize how much I would shred, like, all the PvE instead of playing at my level, like, 125? Like, do you guys understand the insane damage difference that's possible? Especially for PvE, like, so many weapons, like, you can get some nasty scaling with like level 250 and shit like that. People don't realize how much of an advantage that is. How much of a massive advantage even. It's a nasty ass like advantage to be like 100 levels higher. Like when I'm telling you guys that, you know, like I performed better than these speedrunners. First of all, I was not racing them like the guy said earlier. Like, you know, I was playing through the game normally like everyone else, and then I learned like after the fact, like a few months ago, when someone made a vid about all the speedrunners, and I was like, holy shit! Like, actually, I killed all these bosses way faster than them, and I was like 100 levels lower than them. Was I surprised though? No, not really. And to be fair, there was nothing surprising. Like, people like, you know, the good speedrunners like Distortion basically did the best out of all the streamers, and obviously, like, you know, the casual streamers like the XQC and the Asmongold and that sort of stuff, they performed terribly, you know, like everything made sense. Like, no one was trying to race anyone, but if you look at the results, like everything is reasonable and logical. And again, it was not a competition. It's just that you look at it afterward, after the fact, and you're like, oh, okay, I see, now that makes sense. That's more like it. Did you kill Radon? We're talking about every DLC boss, yes. I will say though, like Radon took me way more tries than every other boss in the DLC. Like, you know, like I got Gaius first try, I got that Madness boss first try, you know, I got Renala second try. You know, like I did very well on most of the bosses, but when it came to Radon, I think it took like 15 tries. But, you know, like I think like Distortion, it took him like 25 tries, and he was the best one in that vid I saw. And also, you know, that was, you know, I think they nerfed him now. I think that was before they nerfed him, obviously, but everyone kind of beat him before they nerfed him, so. As a general rule, PvPers have better composure and panic roll less. Absolutely. We have better timing and spacing. And, you know, like, I gave myself as an example, but I shit you not, I bet you that people like Steel and Luber and, you know, the other good players I know, I also bet that maybe they did even better than I did. And I guarantee you that they did better than all these, you know, these speedrunners. So it's not just like a me bragging thing. Like, I mean what I said. Like, the PvPers just have better fundamentals, and when you're faced with something new, that's where it matters most. But again, like, if you ask me to beat Millennia or Radon now, of course they would completely destroy all of us, because they know all these bosses by heart. They know everything about them. They know how many hits it takes to stagger them. They know that they can move a little bit to the side here and there to avoid the attacks. They basically, like, they figured out the puzzle for every puzzle that the game has. So, you know, that's part of their skill set. But, you know, to give us credit, the PvPers, we're not interested in that. If we were interested in that, would we fare better than right now, for instance, where, you know, like, none of us ever, you know, ever cared about learning that stuff? Of course. And same thing for them, you know, if they ever cared about PvP, would they fare better? We actually know that. If you look at Gino back in Dark Souls 3, like, Gino was the player who learned PvP the fastest, or became good at PvP the fastest out of anyone I've ever seen. And so, like you take Gino in Dark Souls 3, like, he became super good at Dark Souls 3 faster than anyone else. Although, to be fair, you know, like, I did show him, like, everything I could, so maybe that sped it up a little bit, but, you know, for most of it, it's really on him, because at the end of the day, like, it was all about timing and spacing, and he had the timing and spacing. And so when I look at speedrunners, to me, like, that matters. I believe, like, the reason why Gino got so popular for Elden Ring, I don't think is a coincidence, because ultimately, like, he has, like, the better fundamental skills from what I'm seeing out of these speedrunners. Like, when we saw him doing PvP, You know, we noticed that. And so, like, he can do all types of challenges and he's going to excel at it because he's a very, very good gamer. And his success definitely is not like some coincidence or some, you know, some lucky pull from the algorithm. Like, the guy has crazy skills. When you talk about his talent, you know, I think talent is always overstated, but you're right in a sense that basically what talent is, you know, like, it's basically DNA at the end of the day. Like, when people say you have a talent in this, it's like, we're all born different, and some people have, like, you know, bodies that are more suited for a certain sport, for instance. And, you know, have brains that are wired differently and better for certain tasks and whatnot. Well, you're right in a sense that it definitely does exist, but it's very often overstated because when you look at everyone that's successful in their domain, especially the competitive stuff, like all the sports, you're never going to find anyone at a high level who is not the hardest worker, you know what I mean? I think it's a cliche to say that, but hard work definitely trumps talent every time. Definitely true. Like, this is a great example of, like, I can't push. I can't actually aggress them because you have the guy protecting his buddy and there's no opening because of the There you go. That was a good shot. Oh wow, didn't hit that. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Yeah, that's a good point, because if you take someone with no like DNA advantage, you know, no DNA advantage against DNA advantage and both work hard, obviously the guy who works hard and has a DNA advantage, you know, is going to come out on top. But there's one silver lining here. There's one silver lining, is the mental game and all of that. You might have like the perfect body for X and Y, but the resolve matters a lot in every discipline. You know, like, look at the fucking Rocky movies, right? It's not like how hard you can throw, you know, like how much you can take standing there, you know, just taking it, you know what I mean? I forgot the exact quote, but you guys know what I mean. The resolve is probably most important from my experience. And so in the case of us, you know, like going a little more like into like the gaming stuff, I think something that matters a lot more than people realize for like who's good at which game, not so much about talent as much as it is like how much do these people love the game. As if you take someone that loves fucking a certain video game, they're gonna progress so much faster than the guy that has like, you know, like well-wired brain for whatever. You know, like, because you can take like pro gamers from one game, put them into another game. If they don't like the game, don't expect them to become a great player at it. It's just how it is. And so very often, if you look at the good players in certain games, they love it. I think with Elden Ring and with like long-running franchises, you have like a little almost exception, whereas, you know, like, I basically got all my Souls game fundamental skill from a game I love with Dark Souls 3, and it carried over to Elden Ring, a game I don't love. And so I'm at the level of people who love Elden Ring without loving Elden Ring. So you can definitely have like little like quirks like that. But for the most part, from my experience, that's usually how it goes. People who love the game perform better because, you know, they love the game, so they constantly like think about it, think about new strategies, you know, they they play a lot because that's what they, you know, they love the game, so they're always playing. They're seeking challenges because they love the game and they just want to keep getting better and better. That's how I see it. Well, some people who are able to reaction roll certain attack are the exception. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something that's crucial. Your fucking TV or monitor. First of all, if you're playing on a TV, you're already disqualified for a top player by default. Because, like you said, you know, like, if you're not able to reaction roll certain attacks, it's likely that it's not even your fault. It's because you have a monitor or a TV that does not have fast enough refresh rate or has high input lag. Or input delay, however you want to put it. And so, like, playing on a fast monitor is basically, like, a must for any competitive game that's, you know, not, like, turn-based or anything like that. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you play, like, Pokemon competitively, obviously, then your monitor does not matter. Which is why, like, Pokemon is a franchise that makes sense for a Switch, because Switch is a terrible hardware with very slow, like, refresh rate and insane input delay and, you know, yada yada. But for a turn-based game, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But every time you're talking about a shooting game, then obviously, like, shooting players are the most sensitive about reaction time, refresh rate, you know, like, getting the best frames possible, everything. It's a known quantity that in shooting games, you always look for lowest input lag. But when it comes to, same thing with, like, fighting games, but when it comes to more casual games like Elden Ring, it's, for whatever reason, it's a forgotten fact. Like, people don't think about it. It's like, oh, you know, it's a more casual game. Like, it doesn't actually matter all that much if you have, like, fast refresh rate or not. No, it does matter. It matters a lot. If you have a top-of-the-line monitor and you can get, like, let's say you go from a TV to a top-of-the-line monitor, maybe you can get 1 frame of extra reaction time. 1 frame of extra reaction time for a game like this, it's going from, like, 1 class of weapon speed to, like, a lower class. So basically, like, stuff that was, like, too fast to react to becomes, like, reactable. And so it should not be understated how much it matters in a game like this to have, like, a monitor that has, like, good refresh. Now, obviously, if you're talking about, like, a difference in, like, 2 or 3 milliseconds, it shouldn't really matter, but, you know, if you're talking, like, 10 milliseconds, you're starting to get close to the 16 milliseconds, which is 1 frame for this 60 FPS game. Yeah, it is the difference between getting hit or not. Absolutely. You've been playing on a TV this whole time too. Yeah, it matters, dude. Same thing for people who, like, people on console who play on PS4 and people who play on PS5. You know, the people who play on PS4 have a big disadvantage because their frame rate is much lower, and so the reaction time is going to play a big part into the player's ability to reaction roll. So yeah, that's always a discussion that's kind of forgotten because it's sort of obvious, really, but should not be understated how much it matters. Let me fight, so DC. Okay, doesn't want to fight. The difference between reaction rolls on PC versus PSN is crazy too. You go back and forth between the two and you really feel it. Oh yeah, absolutely, Green. Like, I don't play Elden Ring on PC and PlayStation, but I was one of those who did that back in Dark Souls 3. And I always felt like I was at a disadvantage on both platforms because I was always, like, kind of like, because, you know, like, at the highest level for PvP in these games, especially back in Dark Souls 3, like, the spacing was, like, razor tight. And so if you wanted to compete with the other top player that had razor tight spacing, you needed the razor tight spacing for the latency of said platform. And because PlayStation had more input delay than PC, well, it was different on both platforms. Yeah, you never get fully used to everything when you play both. That's exactly how I felt in Dark Souls 3, Green, so I perfectly understand what you mean. And like you said, like, it was to the extent that when I played on PC, it felt like off-meta was even worse than on PlayStation. Like, on PlayStation, you could get away with, like, you know, off-stock, you know, whatever main hand weapon, and, you know, like, mix up people with it. But on PC, like, it was so much easier and so much tighter to reaction roll in space that the off-meta stuff was easier to punish and easier to roll. And so, like, it became, on PC, like, the meta-dominant stuff, like curved sword and daggers and crossbows, were even more, like, ironclad dominant compared to other stuff, whereas on PlayStation, you could get away with, like, a little off-stock mix-up, so to speak. But it was much more difficult to pull that off on PC. Still doable, but you definitely felt the difference, especially at a high level. So yeah, that stuff definitely matters, and very often, you know, like, back in Dark Souls 3, you always had the PC players who were looking down on the console players, you know, obviously because PC master race, and to be fair, like, it is, you know, unarguable that PC is a better platform to play games on than consoles, like, just has more performance. So they are right in that sense, but you can't look at, like, a player getting roll caught on PlayStation and think that it's going to be the same thing as in PC. Because it feels like there's a little bit more phantom range on console because of the difference in input lag. And it feels like things are a little harder to reaction roll as well. And even backstabs, like, when you see these players on PC getting, like, very clean backstabs, for the most part, you can't actually do that on PlayStation, because the reason they're able to go for these backstabs so cleanly is that what they see on their screen is closer to reality, because the delay between their input and their character is lower, significantly lower. And so on PlayStation, because that delay is higher, like, you don't have as much time to react to certain action and punish it with a backstab. And also, a big reason you don't see a lot of people talk about that is, first of all, there's not a lot of people who play on both platforms. And second of all, it's very easy to test stuff on PC. Like, you know, like, when I say test, I mean, like, hard data proof stuff, data mine, you know, like, pull out cheat engine and have, like, the frame data for everything. But it's not easy to do that on PlayStation. In fact, I don't even know if you can do it. And so it's going to be easy to pull that data for PC, but you're not going to be able to have that data for consoles. And so the sort of difference between the two is always going to be, it's always going to go back to feeling, like, what is the feeling? Because you don't have, like, an ironclad metric to compare the two, because you can't really test on consoles. But, you know, like what Green said, if you talk to the good players back in Dark Souls 3 that did that, they'll tell you the same thing. And, you know, hearing Green say that right now, it goes in line with my experience, basically. It's definitely a thing. And I think the better you are at these games, the more you notice the minute differences. I'm trying to respawn the boss room, you never know. Yeah, it's not like a you know, like, it's a big difference in a sense that if you're playing extremely tight, you're definitely going to feel it. And when you're talking about players that are very, like, similarly skilled or highly skilled, the little difference is going to matter a lot. But when it comes to, like, more average players, it's not going to matter much. They might not even notice the difference. But it's definitely there. It's definitely there, and we can definitely explain why it's there. It's very simple. It's just all these differences stem from the input delay. That's all there is to it. I don't actually know the exact input delay for for PlayStation versus PC for Elden Ring specifically. Like we're talking about console games versus PC games. Like sometimes there's a 10 milliseconds difference in input delay. Sometimes it's 20. Sometimes it can go as far as 50. And some games that are terribly optimized can have 100 milliseconds of difference. We don't know where Elden Ring is in that spectrum. And, you know, because I have not really played both games on PC and PlayStation, I can't really tell you like what is like how big the difference is, but it's definitely there. Like I'd assume it's probably around like 30 milliseconds of difference. I think that would be a fair guess. Nice loading screen, yeah. But again, we're not talking about frame rate difference. We're talking about the amount of time it takes for you to press a button on your controller and for that action to show up on screen. That's what we're talking about. Like, someone could easily test that on PC. Oh, I got a black screen, and I'm still in the loading screen. Insane. But yeah, to a certain extent, that's also an advantage for PvE on PC versus PvE on consoles, because you have more time to react to attacks on PC because of the, you know, your input delay is going to be lower. So technically, for PvE, you're probably going to have like an advantage on PC versus PlayStation. Granted, you don't have frame drops, but you have frame drops on every platform, from what I've seen. Might have to back out of this loading screen though. Usually if we wait a little bit, it goes back. So one sec guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab something to drink real quick. Okay, we're still stuck on the loading screen, so I'm gonna restart the game. I'm glad Sony are stopping PS4 games starting this month. Oh, are they, Firekeeper? I didn't know that. That's interesting. They're encouraging players to get PS5 as well. I heard they're gonna delay the PS6 too because of the RAM shortage. I mean, it makes sense, really. really surprising there. Oh, because I restarted the console. Need to reorder things. Should be good. That's just a bad fucking panic roll by me there. Guy's playing well right now. Always go for the tier skip when you can with the lance, because that R2 they can definitely tier skip. And you'll download the PS4 version then. Yeah, for those of you who play on PlayStation, you should not be using the PS5 version of the game even if you're on PS5, because the frame rate is worse on PS5 on the PS5 version compared to the PS4 version on PS5. So every player and streamer that you watch, everyone is playing on the PS4 version of the game on PS5. Those that are playing on PlayStation. Remember, you swapped the sword lance to try to tier skip me a couple of times. You stole that trick. I mean, it's kind of the, you know, the obvious, like, abusing the poor, like, fucking tier mechanic that this game has. Like, it shouldn't be like that, but you have to go for it because it's in the game. But I'm not a big fan of, like, duels in this game because, again, too many inconsistencies and priority issues, hyper armor issues, you name it. If it was, like, one problem, it would be one thing, but these issues compound really quickly. Like, just the input drop from crouching and blocking is enough to ruin a fight. Then you add, you know, like, tier skips on top of that, like red and blue tier stone. That sort of stuff will definitely skew a fight, but you know, it is what it is. That's how the game is, and that's the game we're gonna get until the next one. So at this point, it's pointless to complain about it. It's just a matter of using everything to the best of your ability now. Alright, I want to try Stomp Milady. Let's try that. Another thing I wanted to try today. By the way, thank you so much for the raid to Donut and Hope After Rain. I don't know if you guys, like, did that on purpose to both raid at the same time, but thank you a lot, guys. Really appreciate that. You know, just doing the same as usual. Just invading scrubs. In-fucking-sane. How did the guy take so much damage? With a little lag there. Definitely don't want to push our luck. Not for now. Gonna run into PvE soon enough. They backed off though. Against Ultra, we definitely want Spin Slash though. Maybe with this. I have to be careful to not get too close to both at the same time, because once they both start a blender, it's over. The host is lagging. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna change strat for these guys. The host is lagging. We're gonna play a more simple problem solving. Oh wow, that was so close. Okay, there you go. When you're facing a colossal weapon as the invader, with two people that are standing next to each other, it's very hard to get like any hits in. Like the only way you can get hits in is by having a weapon with super low recovery or a weapon that can break the colossal. So aka, you know, either you go clean rot or you go colossal yourself, so. Okay, is Cold Gogs worth it? I like it more in Invasions. I played around with Bragger Bleed. Bragger Bleed is pretty good as well, but the thing with Cold Gogs is you get your Frost proc in 2 or 3 hits. And it's an insane amount of burst damage. It's definitely worth it, for sure. Even in duel, I would use a Cold Gogs over a physical one. You know, at least, you know, until the opponent is frosted, of course. But in duel, I would for sure do that. Because the, I mean, you know how scaling works, right? Like, the certain weapons that have, like, insane strength scaling, like, you know, like the Gug, the Sword Lance, or the Warp Tax. Like, weapons like that have insanely high AR compared to other weapons with cold infusions and bleed infusions. So sometimes it's worth it to go for that instead. And the reason why I prefer cold over bleed is simply because you get the proc much faster. Like, let's say you get the frost proc in 3 hits with cold, you're gonna get the bleed proc in 4 hits instead. But yeah, it's definitely not like a like, you know, like I want to use cold because I want to be different type of deal. Like, I legitimately think that cold gugs is better than physical. At least until Frost is proc. Then, obviously, it makes more sense to switch to physical then, but the damage difference is low enough and the proc is fast enough so that it's worth it to go cold. Like, when you take a guy like that... Oh. Like, this guy got frosted in 2, obviously, because they don't have much armor. But the burst damage that the frost proc gives you is definitely... it's definitely worth it for the first few hits. You get that quick burst damage. We should actually test it real quick. Against, like, the giant. Just test it real quick. I'm kind of curious, like, if we only look at the damage you do with cold for the first 2 or 3 hits, like, which one comes out on top? Like, obviously we're not gonna get the exact AR you'd get on the player, but for the most part, usually the ratios are the same, so... Like, I don't want to counter hit him though. We got like, actually I should have hit him like right away. I want to see the, like, the full number. Let me redo that. Try to do it faster. Let's just do R1, R1 instead of crouch. I don't want to get the sneak attack on the giant because I think you do more damage on the sneak attack. Okay, there you go, 2,134. Now we're gonna compare that to physical. So 2,134, let's write it down. And then now we're going to do the same thing with physical, see how 2R1s do. It's actually a little more with the frost proc. That's very interesting. So technically strength is coming out on top here, but you're left with the same amount of damage here, basically. So, like, I think it was 2,146. So same, let's just say same damage, but the opponent is frosted for 20% extra afterward. So give and take. Give and take, I guess it's your call. But, like, if you look at AR, you know, like, AR here, pure physical, 832. You know, and then you have like 810 for the frost one. Obviously you're looking at pure physical versus split, but like let's say, let's compare like let's frost infuse this one. You'll see what I mean. So, like, if you were to, like, let's say frost infuse this great katana instead, like, you're looking at 664 versus, like, 699. So the difference in AR here is greater because the scaling for the Great Cat is not as good as the Gugs. So have, like, here you have, like, a 22 AR difference. And here, where was it? So like 5, like 35 here. But you know, the DR overall is larger, so it's a lesser percentage. So basically, you know, like I was saying earlier, like weapons that have like crazy strength scaling, like the sword lance, you know, the Gogs, the Beastman cleaver, although that shit actually sucks with frost. I'll remove that from the inventory once I remake it. You know, and the warp axe, these weapons do well with cold. Okay, actually, before we do that, let's just try one more time, like 3 hits. Because with 3 hits, you're gonna have, like, the third hit with 20% extra damage. $3,312. So, 3,312. And I wonder if the physical one will actually do better than that. So this is for 3 hits. Three 3,301. So it's actually crazy how... Okay, so just with this, the third hit is actually very interesting, even more so, because it means that the damage increase that you get from the frost procs makes it so that the cold actually out damages the physical one, even if you don't switch out after the proc. So basically, like, you know, you could play with this. Once you get your enemy frosted, you're gonna do more damage with your enemy frosted than you would do, like, always hitting with this one, basically. So that's actually very interesting. It kind of makes a strong argument for the cold one being, like, better in every way than the physical one, but obviously, it's not as cut and dry, because counter hit damage is going to be very different there with pure physical, but... You know, you also have to consider, like, what the opponent is going to do to counter you. Like, you have to assume that people you're going to be fighting are usually going to crab up. And so, like, the damage difference with cold... Or actually, cold is going to be favored by your enemy eating crab, obviously, because, you know, pure physical is going to be affected more by that. But yeah, stuff like that is things that we should also, like, consider. Why not combine physical with Chilling Mist, one sword? You can do that. You can absolutely do that. It's not a bad strat. Definitely, it's definitely a thing. You can absolutely do that for sure. Although, like, obviously, like, lending that is going to be different from just, like, getting your build up from, you know, from, like, crouch attacks and such. Because, like, you will have to land, like, if you're playing, like, physical with Chilling Mist, you will have to land the Ash to get your Frost proc. There's no doubt about that. You're not gonna get your Frost proc from, like, just normal hits. Because then, like, it's gonna take, like, 8 hits, something, you know, maybe not 6, like, probably, like, 8 hits to get your build-up going. But yeah, it's absolutely a thing, and back when the game was younger, I mean, when the crouch attack was faster, when Marco and I were fighting, Marco would always be using the physical Gugs with Chilling Mist, and he would do what Omega just said about, like, you use the Chilling Mist to basically, like, force them to panic roll because the build-up is, like, just enough so that they can't stay in there and they have to roll out of it. And so, like, there is some sort of, like, kind of like a frame trap, because if they stay there, like, if they stay in the mist, they get frost proc and then comboed into a crouch. And if they don't stay in the mist and panic roll, then they get roll con. We can actually use it. Let's get one of them here. But yeah, it's absolutely a good option, like you said, for sure. But you do need to land the Ash of War, so a little less convenient to get the Frost proc. Like when you're fighting gankers, it's not that hard to, you know, like to pull that Ash of War off. Like it's not the hardest thing to pull off, but it's definitely easier to just do a running attack and hit all three of them. Like it's safer. You know, like on the cold gugs. This is a terrible map though. Oh. Simple is better here. Cold also decreases enemy stamina regen as a bonus. Usually that doesn't really matter from my experience. You rarely like see that effect like matter too much into fights. I mean, maybe it does in certain matchups, but I've never really felt the difference. Either like frosting someone or getting frosted myself. Like I don't really notice it. Like the thing is, Elden Ring stamina regen, like the base stamina regen, is just so damn high that it almost doesn't fucking matter like what stamina buff you have, because your stam regen is already like absurd. Yo, he early hit that. But you see there, like, throughout this whole exchange, we never frosted them. Like, except at the end when he was already dead, so... Even though, like, I landed the Ash of War clean, we never frosted them. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but you see how, like, with the Frost Gugs, I would have frosted both of them, like, during that fight. And so, like, here in this particular exchange, the Frost Gugs would have performed better than the physical one. But these guys had low HP. Like, maybe if we rerun that fight against people that have more HP, maybe this one is going to perform better than the Frost one. But, like, you know, I see chat is still talking about stamina. Like back in Dark Souls 3, and especially back in Dark Souls 2, like, stamina was so much more... Like it was so much harder to manage your stam and much more involved than it is with Elden Ring, especially Dark Souls 2. And stamina management is much easier in Elden Ring because, you know, the stam regen is just so damn high that... What's great here, like you said, is like right now I already have... Oh, nice, this little shoot there. Gotta try jumping. Out of stam. That's accidental. To be fair though, like against someone that does not want to fight and you're forced to chase down like D-Ogs is not... It's not like what you want to use. Like you're like, you just want to Against someone that just runs away like that, it's just, you know, you pot at them and get it over with. As if they don't want to engage, like, your running attack is just too slow to like, you know, force them to panic roll in any way. So against someone running away like that, unfortunately, you know, like, it is what it is. You do have to use something that's a lot faster if you want to catch them. And that's not just an UGS thing, that's like true for like 90% of weapons. Like if someone is just purely running away, like you can't expect them, like even with a weapon that's good at roll catching, like, you know, like you take a sight has an amazing running attack, amazing crouch attack. You know, it's very good at chase down, but if someone is just running away, all they have to worry about is your running attack. And so they can completely ignore all your other attacks, and so you have no mix-up, basically, even if your weapon has mix-up potential. And so, you know, the better chase down becomes, like, the obvious, you know, like, oh, just auto them. Oh, they're up there. Okay, we got a teammate, though. We got a teammate, but they're sitting up here. I think first... The fuck? This guy's stupid? This guy's stupid. Yeah, he is. Unfortunate. Oh wow, he landed that. I'm actually surprised. I don't want to get raid bow by the other guys though. I actually thought this guy was not a random when I saw his name, but I guess I confused him with someone else. The issue with them being there is you technically have no way to reach them, as you're forced to take a ladder to go to them. So that does complicate things. Like right now, what teammates needs to do is like take great bow and cover me up, or like he's not doing it, or I'll do it then. Like that. Just so cheesy, like guys, genuinely, like you can't actually do anything when you have to go up a ladder like that. It's just such such bad game design, man. I mean, to be fair, the game was not intended for that to happen. You get the overleveled Phantom who's just, you know, like Chugging one-shot fireballs from over there. It's pretty lame, but is what it is. Right now, if we engage with him, we risk getting one tapped by the guy up there, but we're gonna take the bait anyway. Like that, yeah. That's what I thought. Guy's probably over leveled. The light roll and everything. He probably turned off Dong as well before rushing, because that's the type of people these guys are. Yeah, this guy has shit net on top of that. Or it's like fate, like, knows what's happening. Like, mournful departure, like, just starts at the most, like the perfect time. It's pretty crazy. I did not start it. It just started on its own. Pretty crazy stuff. They're just sticking to each other. Yeah, they turned off the tongue before pushing. He's out of Eelings, no way. Wow, that was actually so close. Alright. Roll properly here. Alright, buddy. Let's do this. You keep early hitting, though. Wow, okay. Yes! Do that. Oh, never mind. Not what I thought it was. Okay, just decided to do that. Lag. I forgot I need fucking, a Bullgoat to fight this. This guy has shit net. Fortunate. Should not have blended, but... Alright, now we need to go for broke here. Okay, he's feeling it. We have time to set up. Compensate for his shit net and his... Oh, he's going for a resummon, never mind. I was about to say his shit net and his rune arc, but... He's running to resummon now anyway, so... And shit, player goes down. I know he's watching. Dude, you fucking suck. You're dog shit. I mean, both of them are. Shouldn't address that to him specifically. I mean, they're both fucking garbage. And you know, as much as it's fun to talk shit to them, I mean it though, like they are genuinely garbage. Like the game is just not very skillful, so it always looks close on fight. Because I mean it is, because the game is low skill, but these people are fucking terrible. Like it's so fucking petty to just like sit on top of a ladder, like wait for people to go up to get free kills, and then you know, like once you got your free kill, like you close the tongue and you just 2v1 and you still fucking lose like some dog water garbage. Pretty fucking insane. And then you know, like they would show up and you know make the whatever make believe excuses, like oh you know, like after that it was a 1v1, you know, like you healed more than I did. You know, like just disregarding the fact that dude has rune arc, you know, like I'm out of healings. Like he healed first. You know, like these people are delusional. You guys know the real reason though why we won that? Mournful Departure was playing. That's why we won. This song has aura. They were unlucky enough to have Mournful Departure playing in the background. That's when it was over. I did not expect that. Oh my god, the lag was real. Well, I mean, he jumps to just get killed, I'll take it. One full departure is a massive aura buff. It is. One full departure playing is like having fate on your side. Like, it doesn't matter what they do, fate already decided the outcome. And you do a Dark Souls 3 equivalent to Elden Ring, like Kestis Berry, Murky, PK crossbow. Well, for the meme of it, there is a weapon that actually looks like Murky. Forgot the name of it, but... where is it? Do I even have it? There you go, this one. See this thing? We could actually try to Murky with this thing. I mean, I'm sure it's probably as, but it would definitely look like a giant, or like a Murky. And then we could have the spread crossbow, which is pretty good. We could have, for PK, Shamshir. For Kestis Perry, I don't know about Kestis Perry. Why do you even know that, Bare Bones? Were you even around back in DS3? You're tapped in? Yeah, I can see that. Even the fucking new Elden Ring players know the lore, dude. I don't fuck with PK, bro. I just pull out Murky. You know what's funny is, first of all, that's true. I mean, I said that. But, like, I was never comfortable in the PK versus PK mirror and the Murky versus Murky mirror. And I always had the edge when it was... When I had the PK, they had the Murky, and I had the Murky, they had the PK. I always felt better in the asymmetrical matchup as opposed to the mirror, for whatever reason. Two players. Also, let's try... Let's try the thing we wanted to try. This with Storm Stomp. First of all, I want to see if they can escape the two-part R2s here. Where are they? We're there for a second, but... Wasn't paying attention for a second, and now they're up top. They're here. Or no, not here. Are they? Okay. Murky versus Murky is so cancerous. Well, the thing with Murky versus Murky back in Dark Souls 3 is that Murky is not a very, like, fundamental weapon. It, like, kind of defeats the point of the game. Just PK is a little more fundamental, but PK is just, like, superior to every weapon in the game, basically. Like, as far as melee weapons go, like... I always felt like PK was the best weapon, but Murky was better than PK on latency because quick step cancel is broken. But on low lat, like PK, I always felt like PK beat Murky. Against this guy, though. Oops. Oh wow, that caught me. We take that. The hose. Oh, he just... Yo, he tanked it! I almost got killed there. Holy shit. He just tanked my spin slash. I forgot you can actually tank it with a colossal. God damn it. That's dangerous. PK is enjoyable to play though? I don't think so. I think both PK and Murky are very, like, you know, like PK players love to complain about Murky, whereas both weapons are just equally fucking brain dead for different reasons. Like, they are completely brain dead weapons. Like they just shit on everything in Dark Souls 3. It's not even like a contest. You remember all the Edgelord and Wolf Knight armor using the Legion etiquette gesture? Yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, in terms of Elden Ring though, I'm starting to think, although to be fair, I have not played every matchup, I've not tried everything, but I'm starting to think that BHSTS is that type of weapon that's just like dominant over everything. At least in a duel setting. Maybe not in Invasion. Like, in Invasion, there's definitely, like, situations where Clean Rot is not the best. But in duels, I'm not actually sure. I don't have the confidence to make, like, as a matter-of-fact statement about Elden Ring, because I just don't play it enough. And sometimes I'm late to come to conclusions that, like, ladder players have already, like they already came to that conclusion like months ago, and sometimes I'm late to these conclusions. So like in Dark Souls 3, that was never the case. I was always first to be right on something, basically, because, you know, on top of the game overall. That's not the case with this one. Although, to be fair, there's also more possibilities in Elden Ring, I think, just because you can put Ash on various stuff. Like, that definitely, like, it definitely makes, like, some weapons, like, a little more nuanced. Like, for instance, like, a Claymore with Piercing Fang is definitely not, like, a Claymore with Storm Stomp. Like, the Storm Stomp Claymore is going to have, like, way better matchups against a lot of stuff. So just changing the Ash massively changes some matchups in this game. Don't think you saw Trusting Sword once in this week's NA tourney. Yeah, but to be fair, like, as far as tourneys, like, you guys ban everything. Like, I'm talking about, like, the actual game, not the made-up rules. You know, like, we're talking about, like, Trusting Shield, you know, like, Blind Spot, BHS Clean Rot, like, the nastiest of the nasty. Because I don't actually think that Clean Rot is, like, that broken if you take BHS away from it. It's still a top weapon, for sure, but like, the moment you put a recovery cancel Ash, like a BHS, you know, a quick step, and perhaps maybe even a fucking, I don't know, maybe even a Raptors of the Mist, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but maybe, who knows. That's definitely when it makes it, like, painful to deal with and to punish in the first place, really. Especially with how easy it is to reverse backstab in this game. Like, that shit is actually so fucking AIDS. Like, that's one thing I definitely think is extremely negative for the game overall. It's these reverse backstabs and reverse quickstep and BHS backstabs. They're just way too easy to get. It's way too easy to get. Like, it's the same issue. Behind me? No, but I heard something. That was a cued Estus. Just go for the mage. That's a gamer right here. Whoa. Okay. Definitely not a thing. Never mind. I wanted to see, like, you know, like, if you could, like, storm stomp. Whoops. If you could storm stomp after, like, any attack and have it, like, be a roll catch if they panic roll. But I don't think so. I think the stun is just too short. You like hard meta duels? It's fun to push the game to its limit. I think it's not just fun to push the game to its limits. It's kind of necessary to understand the game. Like, you need to have these sort of fights to understand the game. I really do believe that. For competition though, like for tourneys, like, you know, like I love to shit on ladder rules, but you know, like, there is not a world where blind spot has a way or has a place in fucking competitive stuff. There's just no way around it. Same with dueling shield and fucking, you know, BHS and quickstat. It's just the way it is. But yeah, as as someone who plays the game, like, you know, like normally, you definitely need to know all this stuff because no one is gonna pull punches against you. Like, when someone's stream sniping, like, I mean, they basically get to decide whether you live or die. Like, like, you know, if they really wanted to win, they'd have 3 people, and then you'd be alone, and you wouldn't be able to do anything, and you know, you would be able to abuse whatever they want. Love BHS for the dodge on click. I agree. I think it's very useful, but unfortunately, it's a detriment to the overall experience, all things considered. What's crazy is, like, you know, like, I was the biggest complainer about BHS before it was nerfed, back when it was, like, truly, like, undoubtedly, like, uber broken. And then after that, I was like, you know what, it's fine, you know, it's like, whatever. Like, it's fine, it's not that bad. Like, I can roll catch BHS. That was ultimately, like, my way of going about it, but I think the issue is I had never actually fought someone that was really utilizing it to its full potential. Like, I was basically always better than everyone I was fighting. And so the moment you get someone who's basically at your skill level, you realize, oh shit, the only way you can beat that is a mirror. The elevation here definitely is not the best thing. That's just poor stamina management by me there. The recovery cancel will always be broken, in your opinion? Well, I think you're definitely right. You're definitely right, and I think the moment where I realized that BHS was still a problem was when Green and I did the lance mirrors. We did, like, lance mirrors for like 4 hours, and it was always like flame strike lance. And you, like, after a while, you're like, oh, okay, you know, like, the mirror is based around, like, you know, the R2, because the hyper armor starts fast, and you keep priority with the R2, and there's nothing they can do out of stun, so you can start applying pressure from there. Okay, good, that's pretty cool. But then, like, some other day, like, we realized, oh, you can just strap BHS on the lance and just completely destroy the matchup, and it's basically, like, whoever attacks first gets reverse BHS or at risk of getting reverse BHS, and it makes the matchup completely pointless. It's like, it makes the fight, like, it's a complete guessing game, basically. Either a guessing game or you never attack. You only attack back. That's what it becomes, and so it just completely destroys the mirror. Even though it was already like arguably a bit brain dead mirror to start with, it's like completely irrelevant after that. He by himself? Yeah, he is. What are we doing here? Are you drinking, or, Not drinking is physic. Like that. Or2. Whoa, I rarely see that attack. For a second, I kind of hesitated. Oh. Alright, let's just kill him. I think I know what he's doing now, like he's just double rolling everything. It's just like the lat that makes him able to double roll stuff, but he's not playing very well. And people will say that hard read matchups are more skillful. Nah, dude. Like you said, it's attack first, lose first in that case. Like, like the whole like hard read thing, like it's like, even like, you know, think about it, like even in a tournament setting, like it's so easy to, like, you know, if you're fighting someone like on your skill level, it's so easy to lose to them 5 times in a row and then beat them 5 times in a row afterward. Like I've had that happen so often in dueling session. And so, like, the whole read thing, like, unless you're, like, at the very end of your, you know, like, your dueling session, or after, like, 2 hours, like, you can't really make a read on your opponent, like, after the third fight. Like, you can make some adjustments, but, like, a hard read, like, you're gonna start getting the pattern from your opponents, like, after a few hours of fighting, but before that, you know, like, you can say hard read, but a lot of time it's more, like, guesses, really. Definitely agree on that. So far, I don't think the Storm Stomp has a lot of synergy with Milady, though. I mean, we had to try it to come to that conclusion, and Storm Stomp is never really bad, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's better than Sword Dance, that's for sure. You say sword dance makes Milady meta? I mean, I probably said that, like, when the DLC came out. I think the poise damage was also different back then, but let me tell you right now that Milady doesn't need sword dance to be meta. For sure it doesn't. It's pretty meta without sword dance. But sword dance Milady is definitely quite nasty, like, because the sword dance has so much range with Milady and does a really good chunk of damage on top of that. And if you're using it on like a Dex build or a Fate build, then your sword dance is doing even more damage than on strength. Because, you know, like on strength, yes, your physical AR is higher, but have to keep in mind that every time you're using an Ash of War, that Ash of War damage scales off of the one-handed AR, not the two-handed one, even if you're using the weapon two-handed. So, for most weapons, they do more damage with the Ash on Fate and on Dex, as opposed to Strength. Oh, he doesn't have the poise to tank it. That's like death sentence. Like, Milady is a poise check, like, completely. Like, Milady poise checks you, like, so badly. So yeah, going back to what we were saying, like a sword dance, Milady on Dex and on Fate, it does a significant chunk of damage. Like it's very significant, the damage difference between strength and Dex and Fate. You definitely feel it. Even using it two-handed. Like the sword dance damage is very different. Do you think the new Heavy Knight class will make quality more viable? No. No, like, all the new... like, what the new class gives you is 5 extra points on your Dex build and on your Strength build, and I forgot exactly if it's 3 or 2 points for, like, your Fate build, your Int build, and your Arcane. I think Arcane is, like, 2, and, like, Int and Fate are, like, 3 points, but I don't remember exactly. But that's basically what it does. Assuming that, you know, you're not gonna put, like, any points into Mind, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't need to. Because even though, like, the new class has 7 Mind, that 7 Mind is not a big difference from 10 Mind. Like, even though you're losing, like, 30%, you're not actually losing 30% of your total FP. Because even at, like, the way the scaling work is not linear, basically. Are you doing a new character playthrough for Tarnished Edition? Yes, I will be making multiple characters. I was thinking, you know, like, leveling up one character through Invasion, sorry. I was thinking leveling up the character through Invasions. But one thing that I really want to do is get one character to New Game +7 and just DLC Nintendoodoo with chat on New Game +7. That's what I want. I want to see the boss, like, completely murder us in, like, one shot. I want to experience the team of fingerprints with, like, the chip damage that's equivalent to, like, what would be, like, a normal hit on normal game. Basically, like, you take a third of your damage, like, through your fingerprint guard. Does the boss do such an absurd amount of damage through your shield? Like, this is what I want to see, like, the ultimate challenge. That should be fun. Oh wow, the lag on this guy. Nasty. Just panic roll a little bit. Okay. Out of stamp. Well played, teammate. What level for NG plus character? I don't know. I'm thinking, well, for chat, like, I'll just summon whoever, but I'm thinking, like, you know, 125 for me. Maybe 150, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably want to have at least, like, one 150 character, because everyone plays 150 now. But when we did the Nintendoodoo with chat for the DLC, no new game plus, just normal game. It was already like stupidly challenging. It was so much fun. I want to try it again, but you know, cranking up the difficulty a notch. Thanks for the talk on monitor. Well, no problem. I'm glad you found some info useful. Oh no, not like this. Oh, he's not moving. He's not moving. Oh my god, I keep thinking he's... Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck? Holy shit, some people have insane connections. I feel like it's been worse lately. Like lately we've encountered a lot of people that are crazy lagging. Crazy. Do we know any substantial changes coming beyond the new classes? No, I don't think anything's gonna change. I think we're getting, you know, our few armor sets, our few weapons, and our new classes, and I think that's it. I think that's all there is to it. I don't think there's anything that's gonna get dropped here. I would be surprised, very surprised, if we actually get a patch. Like, I'd be shocked. I really don't expect any changes. Starlink's expanding more and more. Can't do anything about it. Well, definitely looks like Wi-Fi, that's for sure. They're here. Yeah, there he is. He by himself, though. He's a friend. Oh, it's a dead end. That's too bad. Kill me. Whoa. Holy fuck. Okay, this is my exit. No! I wanted the pot here. Would have been great. Ooh, could have been bad there. His friend's saving him. I think I prefer this. The elevation kind of saved him there though. This is so annoying to have to deal with this guy. Okay. Teammate died. Finally finished this. Instead of getting spammed by 2 people. There you go. Oh, also, I missed Marcus resub for 71 months. Holy shit, Marcus. Thanks for the resub for 71, dude. I don't know how I missed it. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Marcus. Holy fuck. It's 71 months. Holy shit. Like approaching the 6 years mark. What the hell did the Phantom die to? He was probably like low and got grabbed, probably. A fiber cable from continent to continent can take up to 20 to 30 years. Holy shit, that's nasty. 20 to 30 years for construction? Dude, that is crazy long. That's wild. Holy fuck. Could you imagine the setback if countries start like attacking each other's communication by like cutting fucking cables in the ocean? Imagine the fucking setback. Like you have to wait fucking 20 years for it to grow back. We already do that? Well, I mean, I kind of said that because of that, but that's crazy. I guess, though, like, the repair for the cable is not gonna take as long. Because they can't, like, fucking make the whole cable disappear. They just cut it. Once you finish, it's probably outdated. Well, I mean, history would have proved you right, but... And it's hard to think of, like, something better than the speed of light. But you never know. Maybe, like, fucking instant transmission... It's going to be a thing. Teleportation. You never know. Maybe that's the next step. Cable repairs often take a couple of months at most. Okay, there you go. That's... Phew. We're gonna still get internet even if they cut it. Good to know. It was almost a disaster. Not attacking. The Quantum Assist Wi-Fi 7 gamer box. There you go. It's great to have like Firekeeper like drop some like bits of knowledge like here and there about like cable network, you know, infrastructures. Always interesting. Is Harp or Murky better in Dark Souls 3? Murky is better than Harp. You know, especially on an optimal build. But Harp has its use cases, you know, like if you're on the defensive, you're gonna pull out a Blessed Harp because it does more damage than a Blessed Murky. For the Quintillion region. But, you know, a dedicated Murky build in Dark Souls 3 with the Dark buff, either the Resin or even worse, the Dark Blade. That shit is nasty. Dark Blade Murky will definitely beat a PK though, because it will out-damage it. Whereas under normal circumstance, the PK will out-damage the Murky. That's a big deal. But, you know, like with any buff, you can outrun it. You can definitely outrun it. Like, wait it out. Or, prevent the buff in the first place, because you definitely, in a right duel setting, they don't get that for free. At least they shouldn't. Because if they do that, you should be stacking all the fucking dark resist you can muster. Dude, I could not escape that. That's fucked up. It's just the bad timing of the queued bundle made me take all of that for damage, which is pretty nasty. Yeah, I definitely got out Elden Ring for sure. We even had our physic, I think, right? I think so. And we even had the physic, and it just killed us through it. Chump Norris, dude. Oh, just a jump, but alright. Wow, that's Elden Ring tracking. I don't know if you guys saw it. Like, I kind of ran around his attack, and my Great Katana tracking, like magnetized, like, right on him. Figure check failed? Yep. Do we have anyone for 2v2s right now? We got people for 2s, we can do a few before I get off. Last few streams we didn't have enough people for 2s. Okay, we got green, that's 1. Someone drops souls, you'd be down. Don't count Castle. He's not coming. Mozzarella, you can try? Alright, well, we still need one more, though, because legitimately, Castle's not coming. Like, I don't believe a word of it. Yo, it blocked me because of the elevation. So the running attack, like, stood in place. That was weird. You need a meta character? Yeah, so, like, it's pointless to do that now, because when Tarnished Edition dropped, like, you're gonna need to remake characters. If you ever want to come back, at least wait for Tarnished. It's like, Tarnished is gonna give, like, everyone, like, with a new character from Tarnished, like, a 5-level advantage, which is pretty significant. What's Tarnished Edition? The new version of the game that's coming out on fucking Switch 2, but they're dropping, like, new classes, new weapons. Well, I mean, like 4 new weapons and 4 new armors, something like that. 3 or 4. And, even though that's technically for Tarnished Edition on Switch, every other platform should have, like, either an update or some sort of downloadable content where we can also get that. So even if you're playing, like, on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, you'll be able to get that new stuff. And so, when Tarnished Edition for Switch 2 comes out and we get that update / DLC or downloadable content, we're gonna get access to 2 new starting classes, and those new starting classes are basically better than the classes we have now. Like, they're more optimal. More optimal by about 5 5 points for most builds, basically. So, with that being said, if you're gonna make a new character now, you might as well wait for Tarnished, because your new character has a good chance of being obsolete when Tarnished Edition is out. What's great about Tarnished Edition is that it's also gonna give us an infusion of player activity, because a lot of players will be replaying through the game with these new classes, so activity should rise a little bit and when Tarnished Edition drops. So it should be good for everyone, both PvE and PvP. Oh, yeah. I landed that. I didn't. It's actually funny how much synergy Storm Stomp has with this thing, because when people panic roll it, like, you know, you land a Storm Stomp R1, and then the follow-up is actually, like, perfectly timed for a roll catch, which is quite interesting. So technically, you can keep pressure after you land the Storm Stomp because of that. That's kind of cool. Because normally what happens if you, like, Storm Stomp combo someone with, like, you know, R2 or whatever, because, you know, they get hit by the Storm Stomp into the attack, the stun for whatever attack comes comboed from the Storm Stomp is, like, shorter. So any weapon you can think of, they don't have a fast enough follow-up to keep pressure, but for whatever reason, you know, Great Cat after the R1, the follow-up is fast enough to roll catch afterward. So it's one of these rare cases where you actually keep pressure after the Storm Stomp because of the roll catch potential. Taking out the dog, thanks for the stream. Alright, dude, take it easy, man. I'm probably not gonna stay for long either. We're reaching the 3-hour mark, and we don't have enough people for 2s anyway, so... Castle, best sandbagger, or best sandbadger. That's funny. A classic, dude. Two v2s, we don't have enough players. We're only 3 months early. It's you, me, and Green. Castle's getting stuff dropped right now, so until Firekeeper confirms that Castle is battle ready, don't count on him. Castle is getting stuff dropped from Mozzarella, but Castle has not played in fucking... Dude, it's probably been years since Castle has played this game. I'm actually curious to see how bad Castle is now. It's funny. Alright, are we good here? Do that. Oh, nice. Definitely deserve to get hit there. Do that. We tear skipped them. Oh, Plentiful is there once you're done eating. Okay. Alright, I can wait for you to be done eating. It's gonna be a race between Castle and Plentiful. We're too late. Between Greatsword, Great Cat, and Curved Greatsword, which one do you prefer? If you're asking which one is the best, it's a different answer than which one I prefer. Personally, I actually prefer Curved Greatsword. Like, in all of these, my favorite is Freya with Flame Strike. That's what I'm most comfortable with out of these, but if you ask which one is best, probably Rakshasa. Probably Rakshasa. If not, it's maybe like Knight's Greatsword.
Oh, death. Become my blade once more.
Oh, that's his seal. I never noticed. He had a seal, that's why. He broke his seal. Okay. Well, the more you know. Gonna write a Reddit post about that later on after the stream. Did you guys ever notice? The guy breaks his seal. That's why he transforms. Lore Master the comeback? Bro, Lore Master is always lurking. I think Lore Master is gone and then, you know, drops a massive bombshell. Alright, let's take a chance. You never know. Maybe we respawn in the arena. We can go do 2v2s though after this. I'm probably not gonna respawn in the arena. There you go. Alright guys, same as usual. United combat, 4 combatant, any location. Use whatever you want. But people will be pissed if you're light rolling with fucking TS. But you know, do what you have to do. There you go. No password. There you go. I'll show it for Castle. You always respawn in the last invasion. I feel like I've had instances where you respawn inside the boss area. I feel like that happened a few times, but it's very rare. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Fire giant? Oh, it's only fire giant? Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense because I was actually thinking in my head, I feel like I respawned in fire giant. So if you say that, that makes total sense then. Okay. Or Renala too? Okay. Ronaldo. Maybe crouch attack. Oh wow, he clipped me there. Oh. What? What was that lag? What the hell? Green moment. Actually, I just realized, I mean, this is a 2v2. Well, there's not an opportunity to heal either way. Yeah, there isn't. My teammate died though. Nice. Wow, you escaped that. Man, green is lagging today, what the fuck? Okay, there you go. I feel like the amount of people we've seen lagging recently, I feel like probably like infrastructure problem. It's just too many. Like if it was like it was players, it wouldn't be everyone like that. Although to be fair, green has always kind of been iffy. Big teammate. Take that. Right on the forehead. Wow, the range is so ass there. You heard from people that Elden Ring has been weird. Yeah, it's been weird for me. Like, I've seen like an unusual amount of people lagging, and you know, like my connection is fine because otherwise you guys would see the stream skipping if it was my connection. You know what I mean? Like you'd see the stream like dropping frames and whatnot. So like it's not like on my end, but with the amount of people that have been skipping, I'm thinking that it might not be them either. Like maybe it's like some fucking network provider, like you know, like Cloudflare, fucking I don't know, like some cable, some major data center somewhere, like I don't know what. But maybe like something's causing it. I don't know. Exactly what Firekeeper said. Maybe it's maybe it's Cloudflare or you know some other provider. I don't know. I think I might have been left out. Unfortunate. I would have loved to see fucking Castle in his first match. Peak hours, Super Bowl data throttling. Oh, is that why? Is it the Super Bowl right now? I mean, I'm not American, so I don't actually care about football. Maybe that's why. I'm eager to see the Olympics, though. Like, Canada Olympic team. They're pretty stacked, but, you know, like, fucking Sweden is pretty good. Finland, the US, fucking stacked as well. Sucks that there's no Russia. I'd love to fucking see Team Russia, but it is what it is. You're still coming? Okay, Castle's not there. We good. You have a +8 Moonveil. See, Castle, that's why I didn't count you for the 2s, dude. That's why I was not counting on you coming in. Oh, man. Insane. I kind of want to try, what used to be Cancer fucking... I want to try double pipe. For a little bit. Alright, come on, Castle. We only need you. And so will you be the hero of this 2v2? He ghosted us? Yeah, that's typical Castle. Have to go and get the arena unlocked. See? I told you. I told you. Look at this shit. Look at him go, dude. Moon... Oh, I need my souls drop. Oh, I only have a Moon Veil plus 8. Oh, I need to unlock the arena. One sec, dude. I need to fucking cut myself another cigar, right? It's always gonna be something. Oh, man. Okay, there you go. Shit is funny, though. I don't want to try, Pike two-handed as well with Storm Stomp. Maybe Storm Stomp will make it somewhat viable. No idea. We'll see. Might do subpar damage, but... probably not work. Woohoo! That Dark Souls 3 stab usually doesn't work in this game. I'm noticing that even the combo into Storm Stomp is slow as heck. Not really sure I like it. He didn't expect the range there. Oh my god, that R2 is bad. Kinda good. Looped by the like that. Oh, running R2 is good too, I guess. Paying enough attention. Oof, that hurt. Pike has deceptive range, yeah, but it's also really bad two-handed. I definitely thought it would be better than that, but it just has no move. Like, even the Storm Stomp doesn't combo into it too well. It's like borderline for the R1. It's just so slow. Well, that works. That roll was supposed to be a bait to storm stomp him, and it worked. Oh. Nice. And that R2 sucks ass. Oh wow, it still caught. Well, certainly interesting to play with, but just lacks good attacks. The baby turtle special? Well, baby turtle is honest, so he wouldn't play with like flame strike or storm stomp on it. But I was wondering if storm stomp could make it like, you know, like maybe not good, but like decent. But even with storm stomp, I really don't think it's very good. So. No, you can backstab me there. You can do it. I'm stupid. That hurt. Out of stem. Ah, I thought I strafed that. That's my fault there. To be fair though, I'm not very good with double spear, but setup is definitely better than just one spear. Oh, I also forgot to proper tallies there. Oh. With that. think I win that. Oh. Whoa. Oh, we tried it, but I'm not a fan of double spear. It's definitely not what it's used to be. You'll do some grinding now, you'll be ready next stream? Yep. Of course. Of course. Fucking castle, bro. I mean, I knew it. I just knew it. Double spear is basically worst Pada? Yeah, pretty much. There you go, got Midwich again. Wait, we only have one opponent? Oh no, there. I think I want this here. Nice BS. I'm stupid. I just spammed. I deserve to get hit there. Which is the same though. Fumbling the buttons. Right there. Actually, let's do that. This here. Good running there. I don't have my tier anymore though. Choke there. Thank you for the cover. Right. Surprisingly, I think I actually prefer, actually, I think I prefer Piercing Fang over, Storm Stomp. Try Piercing Fang again. Thanks for playing, Mozzarella. Really appreciate it. Maybe we have different lobbies right now. Castle, I swear to God, man. That's funny, dude. Castle, do you not have, like, one... Like, what happened to your character that you used when the game came out? Like, you had a meta character at some point. Did you just delete everything? You got angry and deleted everything? Yeah, that's understandable. It is Elden Ring after all. And then never played again for 3 years. You say 1v1 feel better on Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3? Man, I don't think it's as cut and dry as like one is better than the other, because ultimately like Elden Ring has more mechanics. Like you have like a more varied weapon pool that are viable. You have more interesting stuff, but like it has like flaws that are just like game killing. Like like losing priority on most attacks, you know, like after you land a hit. It just makes it a trading game, you know, like Eye Armor starting super fast in Elden Ring. Input eating, that's like the worst. And the fights depending on the physic. And red and blue tier, like all these things like add an RNG element so that it doesn't matter if you prefer Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 3, the better player has better odds than the better player in Elden Ring. Because Elden Ring has so many mechanics and bugs and issues that make the better player's skill more pointless. Like it just forces trading, forces exchanges way more. Even though it has more in-depth mechanics overall, it has like more variety of attacks and options. Like if we fix all Dark Souls 3 issues and all Elden Ring issues, Elden Ring would be the better game, right? But as it stands right now, like the issues that Elden Ring has for the gameplay, like cast like a big shadow on the PvP. But it's a shame because the mechanics by themselves are better in Elden Ring. Like taken like in a void, so to speak. Okay, there you go, finally. So stun needs to be a bit longer? No, it's not about that. It's the poise damage, you know, like it's the tweaking, there's a bunch of things, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna go into that again like I do like every stream, if you don't mind. Oh, you didn't get comboed there. You should get comboed. Can I switch to that? Yeah, I can. Alright. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, the lag, what the fuck? Thank you. Did that? The mythical, what's it called? Mythical piercing fang. Green is lagging hard, actually. It skips again. Yeah. The skips makes it hard to get around it. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. Whoa! Gonna fumble the buttons here. We're gonna be chasing him forever if we stay with the greatsword here. Thank you. Oh my god, the double wake up. Nice. That was well played. Oh, we got blocked by teammate. Yo, the lock on. Holy shit. Nasty. Unfortunate, that's my fault. Oh, I think we win by 1. Yes! Well played, RT, well played. It was close though. Okay, what else do we have? Try that. I do like a last one. We get fucking lobby split again. There you go. Yeah, we did. All right. Oh shit. There you go. I went green for the last one. I want this. Which is there, close, nice. Oh, come on. That's just fluky. Finisher? There you go. Wow, he panic rolled that. Okay, well, we finished one. Oh, that clipped me. That's bad. Nice shot. Guaranteed. Nice comeback there. Alright, well played, Green. Alright, fellas, I'm gonna call it here, though. Thanks, everyone, for playing these twos. Really appreciate that. It's getting harder and harder to find people to play twos nowadays. Alright, guys, thanks, everyone, for coming by again. Really appreciate it. Pretty good stream, I think, tonight. Not too much bullshit. Alright, fellas, have a good night. Good rest of the evening, you know, rest of the day, morning, whatever it is for you. I'll catch you guys up next time. Take it easy, everyone. Okay, we can raid Swoosh, Unfortune, and it's gonna be Unfortune today. Was there earlier. Alright, take care, guys. Oops. Channel disabled raids. Wait, what? Okay, let's try swoosh. Okay, there you go. We can raid swoosh. Alright guys, take it easy.